Okay, Sister Wives, season 20, episode 9, standoff at Coyote Pass. We did not have time to watch it last night, so we're watching it tonight for the first time. And sorry, guys, you don't get wine, you get tea, because I can't hang. I can't drink that much wine anymore. And yeah, so I'll try to be funny. Cory's always funny, he says. He doesn't need a glass of wine to get it, but long work day today, so I can't drink wine. I got responsibilities. So, but we're starting the episode off already, and both Robyn and Kody are like, oh, we hope to get out of the car and have conversation with these guys. And yet neither one of them actually got out of the car to have conversation with anybody. It makes no sense. Like if that's what you were wanting, then get out of the car, go say hi to these people, but you're not. You're going to sit in the car and do the same thing that you're bitching and complaining of these two for doing. Like, the hypocrisy with these two runs deep. Don't say you want something and then do nothing to actually make that happen. So yeah, we're already 2 minutes into the show and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Okay, what a joke. None of them make eye contact. They all bitch and complain about each other not making eye contact or seeing each other. And then
made eye contact the whole time.
Well, Mary stared him down the whole time, like, come on, let's talk. And then Robyn, I just think it's ridiculous. They never had to meet on Coyote Pass. I'm 100% sure production just made them do that because, I mean, I've been in real estate 25 years. You do not have to meet up with the other people. Like, literally, you can all sign at totally different times. This was 100% staged for TV. And then Kody comes back. Robyn doesn't like girl games. She doesn't like the fakeness. Bullshit. She is the one who we have seen play girl games this entire thing. I get a lot of feedback, or a lot of people get pissy with my channel because I refer to all the women as girls. This is part of a cultural norm in polygamy. Again, I've explained this a million times that it is part of the cultural norm for people they refer to their wives as their girls, which is creepy. It's predatory. I totally get it, but that's part of the culture. That's how I grew up being taught. My dad never had women that he was married to. He always had girls that he was married to. And I think this stems from underage marriages that happen a lot in this religion. So of course, Kody would refer to them as girl games. And that Robyn has a better reading nuances than he does. Are you kidding me? Like, here's Mary trying to have communication, and Robyn's over here like, yeah, I'm not even going to look at you, fool. So I just think Robyn is the queen of girl games. Again, how do you explain that away when she's the one who's at the root of 90% of all of the issues?
Conversation. One of the main conversations or things that our kids were learning when they were getting to know AUB members is that, like, oh my gosh, they hate you with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
And that's truly how it is being in the community. People are smiling at you and everything. You're like, I'm clueless going, oh, everybody likes me. And then you find out later that they do despise you.
Yep.
So.
And that's so true. Like, our kids have never been around AUB people, but they started going to high school with a bunch of AUB people. And all of the non-polygamous kids would say that, oh my gosh, you guys hate each other with a smile on your face. You can't tell if you're being genuine or not. Okay, Kody says he's ashamed at how the whole Coyote Pass thing went down from day one until even after but he says that in such a light, like he says it so quickly and brushes right over it. I expect him to come back and correct himself now. And he said, I'm only partially ashamed. Everyone else should be just as ashamed as I am. I share equal ashamedness with all of that, because I'm sure Kody will come up with a whole brand new name, like culpability, or brand new word of the week, like culpability. But yeah, I just think it's funny. He brushed over it so fast. I didn't catch the sincerity in what he said, but he did say he did feel ashamed of it from start.
For that moment.
For that moment, at least, right? Yeah. Okay, Christine says that monogamy has been a little bit harder, and her sister Danielle had told her that she's a horrible monogamist, right? And then Kody was saying in a couple episodes before that he has to learn that he has to be more accountable now than he did in plural marriage. And Christine is like, I've had to learn how to communicate more now than I ever did in plural marriage. This is what we've been saying since the very beginning. There's no communication. Nobody ever has to be accountable for anything because it's like, oh, we'll talk about that next time I come home in 4 days. And so it is a way to hide in the crowd, if you will, or to take a step back and never really have to be accountable for anything in your life. And then all of a sudden you become a monogamist, and then it's like there's somebody there all the time to be accountable to. And this is so common. I have watched people lie and lie and lie and lie, and then all of a sudden, in like especially in the Brown situation where one of them wants to leave, then all of a sudden there's accountability that comes forward, and these men don't want to be accountable. And so I appreciate that Christine is pointing that out, that here she is 52 years old and finally learning how to communicate. And you'd think it would be the opposite, because there's so many people involved in polygamy. You'd have to learn to be a good communicator, but you don't. You just shut down, you lie about everything, or you mislead, or you avoid any sort of accountability or communication.
You might be a good communicator, but you have very little accountability.
Right.
So somebody definitely can't hold you accountable. And the women who are with the men the most can't hold their husband accountable. So.
And that's why they become the favorite wife, is because they don't hold their husbands accountable. So I think it's great that these guys are all pointing it out. Janelle even said something about it, that you would think that it would be the opposite, because there's so many people involved in polygamy, and it's just not. Okay, all the girlfriends are trying new stuff. I mean, I think it's awesome that Janelle's going on vacation and like getting out, because we are so sheltered here in Utah, especially in a cult like this. I mean, we just don't have funds to travel. We don't have funds to go do other things. I'm still not very well traveled at 51 years old. So I think it's awesome that she's out there trying new things, trying to get more adventures and more experiences, because we do hard things, just not very many adventurous things.
And
So
you're 10 times more traveled than I ever have been.
I know.
You've gone so many places that I haven't ever gone. So
I know. It was really amazing, because when my daughter, she did professional photography around the country for several years, and so I traveled with her every weekend. We went to New Orleans, and we loved it. Like, it was a fun little town to be in. It's a one and done for me. I don't know that I'll ever go there again, but nonetheless, we're just not that well traveled, because you just have too many responsibilities, and that's not one of the responsibilities that you pay money to go do, is go traveling. So I'm going to wrap this video up. We're a little bit more than halfway through the episode. I know I said we were going to be funny, and we haven't been funny at all. I got to start drinking more. But catch video number 2. We'll just make 2 videos tonight, because there's a lot more going on in the second half of the show. So I want to make sure that we get that at the beginning of the video. So if you don't follow us on any of our other social medias, on my profile, there's a link, my link tree, that will take you to all of our other social media handles. We do more day-to-day stuff on Instagram, and then our longer recaps on YouTube. So head on over there if you want to follow us there. Showdown at Coyote Pass Part 2. If you haven't watched Part 1, you can go to my profile and take a look at that. But here we go. Janelle says that the sister-wife relationship is totally different than having a girlfriend relationship. Well, yeah, because most of your girlfriends aren't having sex with your husband. That's why it's so much different. You don't really have that same level of trust or confidence in with sister wives that are having sex with your husband and undermining you all the time. And I'm sorry, but the sister-wife relationship is not a sweet one. They will try to sell you that stupid bill of sale my entire life. Oh, you want a sister wife? She's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. But they're not. They're the ones that undermine you. They're the ones that undercut you, because if they can look one step better than you to the husband, then they win and they get more time with him. Whereas girlfriends are not that way. Girlfriends want to hang out with you. They want to be your friend. They want to do things with you. They're going to be more honest with you, where sister wives would be like, no, that doesn't make you look fat. And you look extremely huge, because if they're more attractive to the husband, then he'll spend more time with them. It's a very undermining, manipulative, and maybe I'm just burned by it, but very undermining and very manipulative relationship. Now, not every sister wife is that way, but 99% of the ones that I know, and Kody had 4 wives, and 75% of those wives felt that way about their relationship. They're just the 1% who doesn't like girl games and doesn't like to, do all the bullshit that she did to everyone else that we all saw on TV. So there you go. She doesn't like that kind of behavior reciprocated, but she definitely likes to dish that kind of behavior out. It's very true when you're living in a plural family, especially what Janelle's just said, that you almost forget how to have fun because you're on guard all the time. And Cory just pointed out when we got together, then I had to stick up my ass all the time. And he would joke about things that I was like, you're not supposed to joke about that. That's not funny. You're sacrilegious. You're going to go to hell. And I had been so, like, I was so straight-laced and never joked around, never had a good time. I was awful. I was not a nice person at all. And so I love that Janelle is noticing that she's so much more chill now because honest to God, I think all of the wives are so much more chill. I think the only one who's gotten less chill is Robyn, because now she actually has to come on camera. She actually has to do her job in order to get paid. And then she gets criticized so much for everything that she says that she's over the top cautious about saying anything on camera now because of that. But yeah, you don't have a good time. You don't have fun. You don't do a lot of those things when you're a sister wife because you always have to be on guard all the time. Okay, this fool, he says that Janelle says Kody turned 50 and he just decided he didn't want to be responsible for his family anymore. And then it cuts to Kody saying, I never shirked my responsibilities in this family, not even once. In fact, I always gave 110%. And Cory's pointing out, which we both agree, that Kody is, Robyn shows up and says, no, you're going to show up like this, and this in this family. And all the other wives were like, wait, he can do that? We didn't even know he knew how to change a diaper. Wait, he can put kids to bed? We had no idea he could put kids to bed. Wait, what? He can help with kids' homework? He's never done that before. So Robyn made all of these demands on Kody, and he's never used to doing this before. And then all of a sudden, the other wives are like, well, if you can do that at Robyn's, then you can do that here too. So did Kody ever shirk off his responsibilities to the other wives? No. He felt like he was doing what he'd always done. And then they see him showing up for Robyn and they want the same thing. And he's over here going, well, my wives, they didn't show up the way that they were supposed to show up. They didn't show up the way that they did for 15, 16 years before Robyn came around. They took a step back and said, if you can do homework at Robyn's house, you can do homework here. If you can do homework, or if you can put kids to bed at Robyn's house, you can put kids to bed here. And so he's like, I gave 110% of what I've always given to these women. And all of a sudden now it's not enough. Now they need me to show up more. Like I didn't make that. What kind of a covenant did he call Robyn? A sacred covenant with you. I only made that sacred covenant with Robyn. She's the only one I promised to show up for like this. I never promised to show up like this for you. And now he's over here feeling like he's been done wrong because these women are now expecting from him in their family and in their households what he's giving to Robyn willingly and openly. So this man is I'm sorry, he is a dumbass because he got away with not showing up as a father for 17 years and a husband before Robyn came around. And Robyn came around and said, yeah, no, you won't get to do that. And all the other wives are like, well, shit, I didn't know that we could do that. Great, you can't do that here either. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not showing up that way for you. I'll show up that way for Robyn, but not you. Okay, great, then I want a divorce. Well, you don't get a divorce. You've been tolerating this behavior for me for 17 years. You don't get a divorce now. And now I'm going to blame you for leaving because you expect me to show up differently than I've shown up for the last 17, 20 years. So F off. Oh my God, this guy's so dumb. I would like to move myself from a place of blaming other people, but I also would like everyone to stop blaming me. He is a total, what the hell? So he's upset that the wives expect more from him, yet he expects more from them too. Like the hypocrisy in this man is unbelievable. I've seen a few comments today where somebody's like, please, would somebody teach Robyn how to grate cheese? Now I know what you're saying. Yeah, this woman needs help on grating cheese. It's a simple kitchen task. What's wrong with this woman? Now we know what the nanny did, right? Apparently the nanny grated all of her cheese for her. And organized her pantry. Who knows what this woman's been doing for the last whatever long. Okay, this whole conversation between Robyn and Kody feels super scripted to me. And Kody is just like, I need to communicate with my older kids. I need to learn how to fix this so that I can get rid of that. And he talks to Robyn, have you ever been in this place? She's like, yeah, of course I have been. And he's like, really? You have? And she's like, And so I'm like, oh, here comes the hypocrisy. Here it comes, here it comes. But then she puts in there, if the relationship is of value to me, that's the key word right there. Because if the relationship is of no value to her, then it doesn't really matter if she tries on it or not. That's where she got away with not communicating with Preston Jessup, so that his kids could have the same relationship with their father that Kody wants with his children, because that relationship was of no value to Robyn, so she didn't need to give it a try. She didn't really care. Or with Christine, or with Mary, or with Janelle. So she doesn't have to make eye contact at Coyote Pass because the relationship is not of value to Robyn. So she's not really being a hypocrite. She plainly stated that if the relationship is not of value to her, she doesn't care. And Kody's got a full mustache on here, so apparently Robyn went back for more mustache rides because he has not shaved that shit off yet. Janelle's girlfriend's hilarious. She's like, what are your characteristics for his physical appearance? Come on, he's got to have a minimum height requirement. Even roller coasters have at least that. That was a pretty good line. Well, that's awesome. Janelle finally alludes to the fact that she got a spiritual release. Or is getting one. And because it has some ties, like Kody feels like he still has some ties. I mean, I got a spiritual release and my ex-husband still thinks he owns me. These men don't even necessarily believe in the spiritual releases, but I think it's one step closer for Janelle. So good for her for going and getting that. And then Kody confirms later that 2 of his wives got those spiritual releases. I would love to see Christine do it just because it'd just be a little irk and notch in Kody's belt that would just piss him off. That would be the only reason that I think I would get one if I was Christine. When Christine left the AUB, my dad was not the leader. My dad is now currently the leader. She did have a pretty good relationship with him as far as I knew. So she might go back in and get the release now because of her relationship with my dad. The previous one, no. I can totally see her saying that. Now, Robyn is so pissed off and so angry when she's like, it's not just 1 divorce, it's 3 divorces. Kody, I can't believe he's still functioning as well as he is with everything that's been dumped on his head, and the anger that she's got going on in her, the rage that she's got going on in her face is totally disgusting. You can tell she's extremely pissed. So we're about to go into this conversation with her and Kody, but I'm out of time. So if you want to catch up our entire recap, the link is in my bio, and you just go ahead and click on that. Our entire recap will be up on YouTube, and feel free to ask us any questions there, and we'd be happy to answer them for you. But yeah, I can only imagine what this conversation with Kody and Robyn's about to turn into. It's about to turn into the least accountable version of a conversation I probably have ever heard, because that's how these 2 fools run. So anyways, let us know what you think in the comments, and we will get a full recap up for you on YouTube. Thanks.